This video will contain modded footage, which means some of these clips may not be 100% accurate to the actual game. However, the Pikmin themselves remain the same, which means the mods don't affect the main point of this video. Enjoy! These guys are the first Pikmin you meet in every game. They do extra damage with their little pointy pearl noses, which gives a player a good head start. They're also immune to fire damage, which in layman's terms means they aren't damaged by fire. They're especially useful against fiery bullblaxes because their increased damage and fire immunity are a good counter for those mofos. Seriously though, those guys can go F themselves. Purple Pikmin are widely considered to be the strongest, most useful type in the game. They can stun, do impact damage, and their regular attack is twice the damage of blue and yellow Pikmin. And at the speed they're able to take out old Emperor Bullblax practically makes it look like you're committing elder abuse. Not only do they have their immense attack strength in Pikmin 2, but their real main ability is that they have 10 times the physical strength of a normal Pikmin. This means that in Pikmin 3, when their attack strength is reduced to doo-doo, they're still an asset in mission mode because of their carrying efficiency. Their main weakness, however, is that they are painfully slow. I see people trying to save the slowest ones, and listen, I respect the no man left behind mentality, but goddamn. Arguably the most SCP containment breach of the Pikmin, these ones are a little less marketable than the rest. They inflict poison damage after being eaten, and likewise are immune to poison, and with their big red stoplight ass looking eyes can see underground. They've even been shown spitting acid in the short movies. On top of all those other crazy drugged out abilities, they're super fast and even able to keep up with the captain at flower level. So yes, these Pikmin prove to be very useful with their best abilities intact in both the second and third games. They also happen to be a personal favorite of mine just because of how unique their appearance and abilities are, as well as their overall efficiency. Yes, these little guys are the most elf-like of the bunch. They're immune to electricity, and with their little Dumbo ears get extra airtime, which allows them to reach higher leverage points. Their electric community, however, is a little overblown in my opinion. It was only introduced in the second game where, although it was lethal, could easily be dispatched by any Pikmin type. It doesn't even kill Pikmin in the third game, it only stuns them. The only real utilization for electric immunity in both games are the electric gates, which are impossible to destroy without yellow Pikmin. Like I said before though, their ability to be thrown higher does come in clutch, especially for higher up enemies like Blowhogs and our old friend Beatty, who aren't the most charming house guests. These Pikmin are immune to drowning, and in the first two games they're able to just walk underwater like nobody's business. And in the third game they become a lot more hydrodynamic, being able to actually swim towards certain objects and enemies. Their water immunity, so to speak, does prove very useful in all games, as no other Pikmin can carry key items through it without drowning, and possibly dying if you don't whistle them. As an added note, they used to be my favorite Pikmin type when I was younger, just because I love the color blue, and I like the idea of water breathing. I'm more of a green guy now, personally. These guys really do be rock solid, and they pack a punch. They're able to be thrown just like any other Pikmin, except they don't latch onto things. Instead, they deal impact damage, which basically means you get to pelt your enemies with rocks. The developers didn't seem to mind, however, that they can attach to spiderwarts and baldy, but that's besides the point. And just like most other Pikmin, they also have their own special immunity, durability. Since they are tough like rocks, they can resist crushing and pierce type damage. They're still able to be eaten though, which sounds lame, but makes sense, otherwise they'd quickly become more overpowered than purple Pikmin and Pikmin 2. These Pikmin are comparatively the closest to white Pikmin because of their little whacked out bug eyes and smaller size. As the name would suggest, they're able to fly. Their ability to zip around through the air makes them very efficient when carrying stuff, which adds to their likening towards white Pikmin, who are also able to quickly bring stuff back to base. They're also able to pick up these bamboo gates the third game adds, which would add to their usefulness except for the fact that they have to stay on them to keep them open. They're also weaker than any other Pikmin, which makes them especially useless in combat. While you're trying to whistle them back from fighting a tough enemy like a Bulborb, your other Pikmin can quickly become an all-you-can-eat buffet. They can prove useful against flying or high-up enemies, but just throwing yellows at them usually gets the job done twice as fast. Everything is right about these guys. They are the epitome of chef's kiss. First of all, the Bulbmen themselves aren't technically Pikmin. Rather, Bulborb's possessed by a parasitic species of Pikmin. Off to a great start, aren't we? You obtain them by killing off the mother and basically kidnapping the smaller, less aggressive ones for child labor. Alright, I promise you it gets better. The main draw of these Pikmin is that they are immune to all hazards. This means that they have the same immunities of every other Pikmin in the game. The one big catch, however, is that when you obtain them in caves, you're unable to take them to the surface using geysers, which is a shame because look at how precious they are. They have such tiny little snoots, and it's always so sad having to say goodbye to them, especially when they are trying to follow you out. God damn it, Nintendo.
Rage, fury, irritation, humiliation.
Thank you for watching. It means so much to me that you watched my video the whole way through. I'll probably make another video like this regardless of how many views it gets, so if you enjoyed this, expect similar content in the future.